Hi everyone, how are you all? So myself Nagappa, you are watching Appa Chemistry classes. Now our today's topic is factors affecting on molar and equivalent conductance. In the part 3 of electrochemistry, we have discussed the types of conductance, how they will varies with the concentration. Upon dilution what happens, which conductance increases, which conductance decreases. With related problems also we had seen what is the relation between specific conductance, molar conductance and molarity, relation between specific conductance, normality and equivalent conductance we had seen in the electrochemistry part 3. Now it is electrochemistry part 4. In this we are going to discuss the factors affecting on molar and equivalent conductance, and after that most important Debye-Hücke-Ansager equation for the strong electrolytic solution. How we are going to calculate graphically the conductance of strong electrolyte, and after that we are trying to learn the next also, that is how we are going to calculate the conductance of weak electrolyte also. So don't waste the time. So let's get into the video. Now we have the water. These are the major factors which mainly affect on the molar and equivalent conductance. What are those? Here, nature of electrolyte. So we have different types of electrolytes are there. So strong electrolytes are there and weak electrolytes are there. So what are strong electrolytes here? You can take the strong electrolyte like strong acids like what HCl, okay, H2SO4, HNO3. So these are comes under what? Strong acids. And you can take stronger water salts you can take, that is sodium chloride, potassium chloride comes under strong electrolyte. And also you can take the water strong bases like what? NaOH, KOH. So these are having the water strong electrolyte, those are considered as. So because they gives the more number of ions when they are dissolved in aqueous solution. So for that reason they considered as strong electrolyte. And we have the what? Weak electrolyte. So which undergo partial dissociation. So these are said to be what? Weak electrolyte. You can take the example as for this weak electrolyte, acetic acid CH3COOH, and you can take silver chloride and barium sulfate. So these are sparingly soluble salts. Some quantity of they releases the very few number of ions in their aqueous solution. So for that reason, these substances are said to be weak electrolyte. So it depends on the what? Nature of electrolyte. Strong electrolyte is giving more number of ions in the sense it conducts more electricity when compared to the weak electrolyte. Is that clear? So next we are going to see the concentration of electrolyte, which is very very important. Now here, concentration of electrolyte. As concentration increases, what happens? In case of strong electrolyte, say for example, so we had taken the water, this beaker. So here we had taken some quantity of water, say for example 5 liter of water. In that some quantity of solute is added. After that what happens? We kept the volume constant. We added excess quantity of solute. Then that solute, if it is dissociate also, so all the ions are very close to one another. When they are very close to one another, then what happens? Interionic attractions will take place. Due to that interionic attractions, what happens? The mobility of ions will be decreases. What happens? The mobility of ions will be decreases. When the mobility of ion is decreased, then what happens? Conductance decreases. Is that clear? So for that reason, as concentration of a strong electrolyte increased, then what happens? Conductance decreases. So upon dilution, what happens? Conductance will be increases, because whenever you are adding more quantity of water, the degree of dissociation of electrolyte takes place, more it will be. So when the degree of dissociation of electrolyte is taking place more, then more number of ions are produced, more number of ions which are separated by larger distance, because more quantity of solvent is there. So upon dilution, what happens? Upon dilution, conductance increases. Upon dilution, conductance increases. That is, molar and equivalent conductance increases upon dilution, which is very, very important. Next, temperature. So we had seen as temperature increases, what happens? Degree of dissociation of electrolyte increases. As temperature increases, so degree of dissociation of electrolyte increases. Degree of dissociation of electrolyte increases. Electrolyte increases. Then what happens? As degree of dissociation of electrolyte is increased means conductance increases. Now next, nature of solvent and viscosity of the solvent. We have different types of solvents are there. Polar solvents are there, non-polar solvents are there. Polar solvent generally will have more dielectric constant. Due to their more dielectric constant, what happens? Whatever the substance which is present, so that substance is easily dissociated. Dielectric constant is nothing but it has the ability to dissociate the ionic compound, or it may be covalent compound, into its constituent ions. That it mainly depends on the dielectric constant of solvent. You take the water. Water is a polar solvent which has dielectric constant around 84 it will be. So it is having highest dielectric constant for the water. So for that reason, that the water is said to be an universal solvent because of high dielectric constant. So due to that, in water most of the compounds are soluble. Okay na? So for that reason, it is a universal solvent due to more dielectric constant. So in polar solvent, the degree of dissociation of electrolyte takes place more when compared to the non-polar solvent. So for the more conductance, we have to prefer the water polar solvent. And viscosity of solvent. Here viscosity of solvent, mainly thickness. You have the water and honey is there. Honey is there. Now among this water and honey, which one will flow fastly? Flows fastly. Flows fastly. But it is flows slowly. Honey. Because honey has the water more thickness. It has the water more thickness, but whereas water is what? It is a soft one. Okay na? So due to its more thickness, it has the water more viscosity. It creates the more tension to the surface. So that is what we are calling viscosity. Is that clear? Next, size of the ions produced and their solvation. Okay na? Say for example, I told you in the last time also, potassium chloride we have, and we have the what? Nickel sulfate is there. Say for example, nickel sulfate and potassium chloride. Whenever it undergoes dissociation, we are getting potassium ion, chloride ion. But whereas here, nickel plus 2 and sulfate ion, SO4 minus 2. Now you see in this case, SO4 minus 2. Here what happens? The both are having magnitude of charge is more. When they are having more charge, their solvation is more. More number of water molecules are surrounded by those ions. So and also they are having the water large size. They are having more weight. When they are more weight, then what happens? Mobility will be decreases. As the nuclear charge or the size of the ion which is produced is large, then its conductance is less. Is that clear? So simple I can say. Now we will see the graphical method. So once we will see in the graphical method how conductance varies with concentration. Now on y-axis we are taking the conductance, either it may be molar conductance or equivalent conductance. Molar or equivalent conductance. On x-axis I am taking the concentration on x-axis. So here what happens? At initially, at low concentration, it is at 0. At low concentration, the conductance is very high for either it may be strong electrolyte or weak electrolyte. So this is for the strong electrolyte, not this much variation, it will be slight variation. Okay, so this is for the strong electrolyte. Now this is for the acetic acid. So this acetic acid is what? It is a weak electrolyte. It is a nickel sulfate, say for example. Here it is potassium chloride. Now you see in this case what happens here? The potassium chloride is what? A strong electrolyte which has the more conductance. Now you see at zero concentration, this is say for example it is 1 molar, 2 molar, 3 molar, so 4 molar, like that. Now at low concentration the conductance of electrolyte is very high, but as concentration is increasing, what happens? Slightly their conductance is decreasing. You compare the water strong electrolyte, slight decrease in conductance takes place. But whereas if you take strong electrolyte, what happens? It is a weak electrolyte. So weak electrolyte, whenever the concentration is increased, whenever the concentration of this weak electrolyte is increased, so what happens? We are going to get acetate ion plus H plus ions. Now here, whenever the concentration is increased, more number of acetate ion and H plus ions are formed, then these H plus ion will be given by this weak electrolyte is very less number. That less number of H plus ion again combine with acetate ion, then again it will form the undissociated acetic acid. Then number of ions will be decreases at high concentration of weak electrolyte. So at weak electrolyte, conductance decreases upon increase in concentration. Is that clear? At low concentration, the conductance of weak electrolyte is very high. Now you see here, so like this it can be, so it will increases where at very low temperature, at very low concentration it is having high conductance. Is that clear? Yes, next one, Debye-Huckel-Ansager equation. This Debye-Huckel-Ansager equation is proposed for the give the relation between the conductance at particular concentration to the square root of concentration. To give that relation, they proposed this Debye-Huckel-Ansager equation. Now, according to this Debye-Huckel-Ansager equation, what happens actually we'll see. So Debye-Huckel is the scientist. They proposed this equation to explain the relation between conductance versus concentration. Now it is what? Equivalent conductance. It is an equivalent or molar conductance. It may be equivalent or molar conductance. Molar conductance at a C concentration. At a C concentration. Now what is this one? Nu naught or nu infinite. So it is at infinite dilution. At infinite dilution, the equivalent conductance at a zero concentration are nothing but at infinite dilution. Whenever you are doing the infinite dilution, then what happens? Concentration of electrolyte will becomes what? Zero. So that is what. Next is what? D is what? D is a dielectric constant of a solvent. D is what? Dielectric constant of a solvent. Dielectric constant of solvent. You can take there eta. This is eta. This one. So it is what? Viscosity coefficient. Viscosity coefficient of solvent. Viscosity coefficient of solvent. Okay. So now you know the remaining terms. T is what? Temperature. What is C? Concentration. Okay. Na? So now here what happens? Now this, by using this equation, he given the relation between conductance versus square root of concentration. This is whole equation. I am going to write like this. So equivalent conductance is equal to, so that is nu naught minus the whole value, this whole square bracket value I am taking as, I am considering as D, square root of C. So simply I am writing like this. So here you see that is equivalent conductance at particular concentration into minus B square root of C plus equivalent conductance at zero concentration. So how it is? Y is equal to mx plus c form it is. Now the slope is negative. When the slope is negative, then what happens? We are going to get the graphs like this. So we are getting the graphs like this. Now, so it is for the what? This graph is for strong electrolyte. It is for the strong electrolyte. So experimentally observed graphs for the Debye-Huckel-Ansager equation. This is the graph. For the weak electrolyte, what happens? We are getting the graphs like this. So here, by extrapolating these curves of strong electrolyte, it is for the what? Weak electrolyte. Weak electrolyte. Now it is for the strong electrolyte. Strong electrolyte conductance can be calculated by extrapolating the curve of the strong electrolyte. But whereas for the weak electrolyte conductance, exact conductance of weak electrolyte cannot be calculated. If you are extrapolating that curve, are you getting exact conductance of weak electrolyte? It is not getting. So here whatever the slope is there, no, that slope is what here? Slope is equal to minus b. In place of m, what is there? M is equal to minus b. Okay, na? So here whatever this one, it is said to be intercept. So intercept C is equal to what? Equivalent conductance at a zero concentration. Is that clear? That is Debye-Huckel-Ansager equation. Just he given the relation between conductance versus concentration of electrolyte. Okay, na? So next we'll see the conductance ratio, which is represented with alpha. Now we have the conductance ratio alpha. That alpha is said to be alpha is equal to, it is the ratio between the conductance at particular concentration to the conductance at zero concentration or at infinite dilution. So at infinite dilution, or we can write it as for the molar conductance also. Molar conductance at particular concentration to the molar conductance at zero concentration, or it may be what molar conductance at particular concentration to the molar conductance at infinite dilution. So that is the relation between molar conductance ratio. Now how we can define the conductance ratio here? It is the ratio between conductance of electrolyte, either it may be equivalent electrolyte or molar conductance, equivalent conductance or molar conductance at particular concentration to the equivalent conductance or molar conductance at infinite dilution is said to be what? A conductance ratio. You know the terms already I have written here. So now you see here the term, one problem, simple problem on conductance ratio. By seeing that concentration values only we can decide. Now among these, which one will have more conductance here? Both the electrolytes are same. Acetic acid. What is the variation you are observing? Concentration is variation. It is having more concentration, it is having less concentration. Just now I had explained you in acetic acid what happens, conductance, what happens, concentration increases, the conductance of weak electrolyte is decreasing. Is it or not? So the conductance of weak electrolyte is decreases as increase in concentration. So which is having more degree of dissociation? This 0.001 molar of acetic acid will have more alpha. More is the degree of dissociation. So then what happens? More is its conductance when compared to 0.1 molar acetic acid, that is concentrated one. As concentration of weak electrolyte increases, then what happens? Conductance is decreasing or not? It is decreasing. At low concentration only, the conductance of weak electrolyte or strong electrolyte will be very high. Strong electrolyte conductance decreases upon increase in concentration slightly, but whereas weak electrolyte conductance decreases very abnormally. Is that clear? That is effect of conductance ratio and concentration. Now so far we had discussed the concept of how factors affecting on the molar and equivalent conductance, Debye-Huckel-Ansager equation, how conductance varies with the square root of concentration and conductance ratio we had seen in this video. So in the next video is very important, that is Coriolis law of independent migration of ions. Now before this, what we had done, we had seen the conductance of strong electrolyte can be calculated by using graphical method. But whereas for weak electrolyte can be calculated by using Coriolis law. There you will have the most important Coriolis law and its applications, very important. Okay na? And also at the end, don't forget to watch problem, so which is most important one. Okay, thank you, have a nice day.